But we have to ask that burning question that we ask about every Monday around this time, and that is...
Where in the world is Maggie McDaniel?
That's the question right there.
Where in the world is Maggie McDaniel?
So where is she?
She is right here with us,
here.
and I can't wait to get to this because I have a couple of questions right off the bat. One, how's Lent going? How you feeling about Lent? We're almost there. I mean,
Yes,
Holy
we
Week
are.
next week.
It's hard to believe that Holy Week is upon us. No, it's going very well. Thank you for asking. You know, it's excruciating, as they're saying. Hope you have an excruciating Lent.
Yeah, it's been a slugfest. I have to be honest with you.
I have to be honest. It's been a very blessed Lent.
Oh,
it
good.
really has been. It really has been, yes. And daily masses are incredible, and just which I do anyways. But it's just you just draw yourself in a little bit closer. So
And we've got the light is on, and Day of Grace coming up, and
and actually I had to say I'm still kind of on a high from last Thursday night.
Yeah, that was amazing.
We had dinner with someone last night who was there as well, and it's just like people are still talking about it.
Well, and you brought a bunch of 3 tables.
We had 3 tables.
You filled up
We
3
had
tables.
we had 30
And a
people.
bunch of priests that you brought with you too.
And,
so thank you for that.
It was a blessing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Everybody was just beyond thrilled to be there.
We talked earlier. I think Father Mike Schmitz, it's Schmitz. I want to tell you, I think that he might grow. I mean, look, you have to say this would be the launching point, but he really might become something. I'm just saying. I don't know. You never know because you meet these guys. They're young and they're kind of up and coming.
Right.
But as I,
he was riding on the coattails of our bishop. That's the only reason everybody was there. Was for Bishop Thomas.
Boy, and how fabulous was that video by Bishop Thomas? So now, obviously,
in person, on video, it doesn't matter. Just on the radio, he's captivating. You love to listen to him.
And he's always the same. Whether you see him in this setting or that setting.
Absolutely, yes.
And look, I would say, and I really felt inspired to say that in my introduction of him, just saying, if you're looking for Bishop Thomas, you're going to find him with his people. I've never seen a bishop who is always out and about with his people everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. And I think you could think here that it's a common thing because we're so used to it. It's not that common.
No,
it's just
no,
not
it's
that
not.
common.
No, it's not.
That he just makes himself so available.
And it's not unusual for like on a Sunday morning he'll call up the parish and say maybe the day before, but hey, can I come for Mass and celebrate Mass?
Now, they did edit out one part. I did say the one place he has not been is my home for dinner. He's like, no, I like you, but no. No.
I think that's a little bit harder for him to do. I think if he could, he would go to everybody's house for dinner. But, he's
he does
with
it
the
for you, Dave. He's got to do it
for everybody.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. No,
Absolutely.
But what a wonderful, wonderful evening. And Father, all kidding aside, oh my goodness. I've seen Father Mike Schmitz live a few times, obviously heard so many of his recordings, his podcasts, his homilies. I'd never heard any part of that talk that he gave to us on Thursday night. His folks had reached out. Lauren, his assistant, had reached out to me and said, what would you like Father to speak on? I said, whatever Father wants to speak on. Because here's the thing. You give these wonderful speakers a title, then they have to kind of figure. I said, no, whatever's on his heart and mind, let him bring that.
Right.
And, man, that was.
It was. And, he was so gracious with this time beforehand,
oh, my goodness,
too.
Yeah.
It was incredible. It was an incredible evening. Yeah, and it's all because of you guys. And Mike Learned and Dr. Nelson and Catherine Nelson and Chris, who started this station. Look what's happened in 15 years. And you had 650 people there and more who would have come if you would have had a venue.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for bringing our faith to the airways and changing people's lives.
Yeah, everywhere I've gone since, Mass, or we went to a fish fry on Friday night. I went to a local artist had a showing of their art, and I had people walking up to me there saying, "Oh my goodness, I was there on Thursday." I'm like, "Wow, it was just a blessed event."
You couldn't walk 2 tables and someone run into you that you knew. It was just amazing. I said, it's really the who's who of Catholics in the diocese. You know, really, it was wonderful. Yeah, it was a great place to be.
Well, the most exciting who's who that were there were those 7 young men sitting with Father Mike Schmitz, Father David Kidd, and Monsignor Kubacki at the head table, all participants in the Andrew dinner, in one of the Andrew dinners, and the young men of Father's choice, Father David Kidd's choice, to sit and I will tell you who was inspired by it, who was pumped up about it, was Father Mike Schmitz. And I've heard about it 2 or 3 times since then, about how much he enjoyed sitting with those young men.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. It was wonderful. Yeah. And like I said, thanks to the radio station and, at 15 years.
Yeah.
And we're going to celebrate that in Poland.
Yeah, that's right. That's coming up August 25th. right?
Yeah.
So don't miss that opportunity. Also, August 15th is the big
This
day.
is
So
the big
just
day.
10
Big
days later,
birthday.
we're going to
Yeah.
go spend some time with St. Maximilian Kolbe, St. Faustina, St. John Paul the Great. We're going to go to Krakow and all, all those
Banovice,
things. Yeah.
The
It's going to
salt
be a
mines.
fabulous
Yeah.
opportunity.
No, it will be. So, I think as on big birthdays, we like to make it a year-long celebration. So let's make it. We'll start on the 15th. It'll be the year of Annunciation
Oh, there you
Radio.
go.
I like it.
So we'll have celebrations throughout the year, and
Yeah.
just encourage people to join in on that.
We'll have
If
our
you
own
haven't-
little jubilee.
Yeah.
Look, if you haven't signed up for that pilgrimage, believe it or not, there's still spots
There
available.
are, yes,
So
yes. And we want you to join.
CatholicFaithJourneys.com.
I did hear though from a couple of people at the event who said
Nice.
they're gonna
Yeah.
be sending in information. So.
Look, stop saying you're going to and get
Yeah,
the
just
thing
do it,
done.
yes.
We got to get that
That's
thing
right.
done. Yeah, can't wait to see all of you there. Yeah, and I did have I had 2 or 3 couples come and say, I'm joining you in Poland. Can't wait to spend that time together. So,
CatholicFaithJourneys.com.
there you
Thanks,
go.
guys. God
Don't
bless your
miss
day.
it. All right. Love
Maggie,
you.
always
Thank
a
you,
pleasure,
Maggie.
and we always appreciate it when you're in studio with us. We'll be right back here on Morning Offering.